Hello everyone, welcome back to the PWC YouTube channel. I'm Gil, and today I will be doing the power rankings for the ninth season of the PWC, the Wi-Fi division, the Dim Sum division. But we have a little twist on this. It's not gonna just be any normal power rankings. We're gonna be flipping coins. Oh, I did not mean to do that. Alright, we flipped tails. And now, since we flipped tails, oh, someone just joined me. Hello, Starvin Pig. I cannot hear him, but it's fine. He's here. We flip tails. Oh, I should screen share so he sees what's going on. Share my screen. Um, this one. Go live. Cool. Okay. So, since we flipped tails, you guys know what this means. We spin a wheel. B tier? Okay. So now I have to rank Shadow Galade's team as B tier, and I'm just gonna have to figure out a way to explain it. So we have the Carolina Toro Seals. Alright. So this team, Zoroark, Manaphy, Heatran, Glamora, Rillaboom, Sylveon, Oricorio, Palossand, Tatsugiri, Ambipom, and Eevee. Okay, so firstly, Oricorio as not the Terramon. Bit strange, not gonna lie. Zoroark is kind of, I mean, it can be good. I feel like if you had Regieleki, it would be some pretty nutty mind games. Um, Manaphy, I mean, it is Paldea deck, so maybe with the reduced decks it can be better, but I feel like it's that type of mon that's like better in theory than it is in practice. Obviously has the new move, the Calm Mind plus Refresh. The is it Take Heart? I think it's called Take Heart. Heatran's a pretty good mon, Glamora's a good mon, Rillaboom's a good mon, although Grassy Glide is 55 base power for some fucking reason. They could have just not given this to Rillaboom, but they were like, no, we have to nerf it to 55 power. Sylveon's a good mon, Palossand's decent, Tatsugiri, I mean, it has Rapid Spin. I mean, so does Glamora. Glamora has Spin. Ambipom is the Pokemon of all time, and there's an Eevee. This does not have Extreme Evo boost. It's kind of a waste. Anyways, so not doesn't look too great. Decent team, but nothing too special. So next up we have the Toxic Kings, coached by Bloom. Let's flip a coin again. All right, tails again. Let's flip the wheel. Yes, I'm gonna flip a wheel. Let's spin the wheel one more time. And all right. So Bloom goes at F tier. Toxic Kings, right? Yeah, Toxic Kings. All right. Let's hope this team isn't crazy. Jolteon, Ogerpon, Iron Tread, Snorlax, Pheasantipity, Chandelure, Tauros, Paldea Aqua, Galarian Moltres, Orform, Espeon, and Altaria. Alright, fuck. Okay, so Terra Jolteon is incredibly overrated because, uh, oh no. Yeah, so basically in it, I have Terra Jolteon and Iron Treads in a league, and I am doing bad, which means that this team is bad. This is great. And Snorlax bad. It loses to spikes. It loses to sand. Ignore that this isn't Gen 3. There's no permanent sand. What does Pheasantipity even do? I forget which mon that is. Is that the one with Technician? I think it is. I mean, either way, this mon kind of sucks. Ogerpon, Grass, without Terra. It's an Ogerpon without Terra, right? It's whatever. Iron Treads, nice, decent Gloomon though, but like, I feel like this team has like 3, 4 mons that could be Terra captains, but like you can only have one. Just kind of rough. I mean, I really don't like the Man, I feel like this might be one of the best teams in the league, and I rolled F tier for it. This is awful. Okay. Let's just move on to the next team. The next team, Blaziken Blazers, coached by Velvet. Let's flip coin. All right, heads. I actually ranked this team. Okay, let's put it on the Team Hawk. Okay, so Larian Articuno, make it the Terra captain. Oh, fine, if you insist. Okay, Walking Wake, King Gambit, Urshifu Rapid. What the wait? How the fuck do you draft all three of these in Paldea decks? Jesus fuck. Oh, Cerulege. I don't know why this is doing this, but it's fine. Mammoslide, Florges, Vikavolt, Toadscrew, Golem, and Bronzor. Okay. Is this the team? This is the team. Alright. This team looks pretty menacing. Galarian Articuno as a Terra Captain is pretty interesting. This one usually doesn't have any coverage, but with Terra Blast, it now has all the coverage. Walking Wake outside of Sun is incredibly sus. I have no idea why that happened. Maybe they picked Walking Wake and the Torkoal got sniped. Who knows? But like at that point, I feel like you would get Ninetales because Ninetales was added with the DLC. King Gambit or Shifu Rapid, just top tier mons. Cerulege is a good mon. Mamoswine is Mamoswine. I feel like half the teams in every single league just lose to Mamoswine. Or just really good wall. Vikavolt, nice special attacker, can also set up webs. Toadscrew's a decent mon. It has Spore, even though it has negative infinity priority because of its ability. It has spikes, it has T-spikes, it can spin, has a lot of really neat utility. Golem is a golem. I mean, it has rocks, which is something. And Bronzor it's a Bronzor. Walking Away has flip turn for no reason. Um, yeah, I feel like this team is quite physically offensive with the King Gambit, the Urshifu Rapid, the Cerulege, the Mamoswine. But you also have some special attackers, the Galarian Articuno, the Walking Wake, the Vikavolt, even Toadscrew has a you can run like max speed, max special attack, do some decent damage with it. It does have some cool coverage like Sludge Bomb, Dazzling Gleam, on top of obviously dual stabs. Very offensive team. I like it a lot. With the Florges to anchor a lot of the bulk, Vikavolt with webs to make Urshifu rapid, and even like Mamoswine just go absolutely crazy. Galarian Articuno with Terra, I think, also has a lot of potential. This team has a decent amount of momentum with Volt Switch on Vikavolt, 2 U-turners, flip turn on Walking Wake for no reason. Even Florges can baton pass out of stuff. You know, if you're predicting them to switch into like their steel or poison type or whatever, you just baton pass out into your Mamoswine. If it's a fast steel, probably not Mamoswine because it's also weak to steel. But this team is really good. I actually really like it. It could be S tier. I'm not sure. I don't know if I want to give out an S tier so early. I might bump it up later, but I think for now, I'll put the Blaziken Blazers in A tier. But pretty good team. So next up, we have the San Francisco Celebes, coached by the man, the myth, the legend, Firemaster. Let's flip the coin. Tails. All right. It is real time. Oh, is it S tier? No, not quite. A tier. So we have we have A tier for Firemaster. Let's look at the team. Delphox is the signature. Glowking, Gliscor, Hydreigon, Breloom, Mimikyu, Vaporeon, Blissey, Fortress, Alolan Golem, and Leavanny. So, why is there webs on a stall team? This is just a stall team, and then there's a Delphox, a Mimikyu, which I guess isn't the stall mod, a Hydreigon, and a Breloom. But like, You have Gloking, you have Gliscor. Gliscor is so good, by the way. That thing at 14 points with a steal, honestly. It has spikes, it has T spikes, it has knockoff. It's just such a good mon, especially in this decks. Gloking, obviously, just also really good to a chilly reception, T spikes, and like AV sets if you want. Hydreigon, obviously. Did Hydreigon gain Roost? I don't think Hydreigon has Roost still. I think it still doesn't. If it does, then that's incredible. Delphux as a Terra Captain, I think Shadow Gallade had it last season in Wi-Fi League, and it proved to be pretty strong. So that's a really good signature for sure. And then you can anchor it with all the bulk. We have Vaporeon, Blissey, Glowking. That's just all the special bulk in the world. Gliscor as a physical wall, it's a menace. I don't really like Fortress. Um, I think Fortress could be replaced by a much better Steel for sure. The Mimikyu, I'm not the biggest fan of Mimikyu. I don't know if it got anything. I'm pretty sure it had Poltergeist before. Unless it got something really good in the DLC that I'm not familiar with. Breloom's a good mon. Always will be, to be fair. It has Spore, has Technician Mach Punch. It can run Poison Heal if you want. Which you very well could on this team, like Subseed. Like that seems pretty decent. I really don't like Leavanny. I don't think this team is offensive enough to run webs. The only Golem is fine. This team has like rockers. It has Gliscor. It has Hydreigon. Hydreigon has rocks because why not? Let's see, has rocks. It has a lot of rockers. It has multiple T spikers. It has 3 T spikers actually. It also has 2 spikers. So this team has a lot of hazards. But I still don't like the Leavanny. I would like a better steal than Fortress, and I would like a mon that isn't Leavanny because I don't think this team is offensive enough to run webs. But it's a good team. I actually really like this. Even with the wheel saying A tier, I do actually think this is A tier. So next up, we have the Barbados Oricorios, coached by Spooks. Let's flip the coin. Let the fates decide. Heads, alright. We will be ranking this team properly. So let's put it on the dock. So Braviary, Hisuian Samurott, Sandy Shocks. Wait, it's Hisuian Samurott his most expensive mon? It is. Okay. Scizor, Gardevoir, Umbreon, Boros, Blaze Breed, Regalgi, Sidgewai, Lycanroc, and Zangoose. Okay, so immediately, I think I'd like a rocker that isn't like Sandy Shocks for Lycanroc. Obviously, Shocks can run rocks because I don't think its coverage is actually that great, if I'm not mistaken. So like it can run like rocks or spikes on the fourth slot. Obviously, Hisuian Samurott has Ceaseless Edge, so you're fine on hazards for sure. Jagology gets T spikes as well. I mean, you have a lot. You have some solid hazard removal options. Scizor can defog. The Decidueye can defog. Braviary can defog. You do also have some pretty good momentum. You have a lot of U-turn, some flip turn, even baton pass. Zangoose has baton pass. Umbreon can baton pass wishes, and it's pretty bulky, so you're not too concerned with that. Even Gardevoir has teleport, and it also has wish. So in some matchups, and against certain especially offensive mons, you could turn Gardevoir into like a fucking Dollar Tree Clefable with wish teleport. Um, also you have a lot of knockoff, and which is really nice because knockoff is a busted move. It might be the best move in the game, honestly. Um, and I like this team, although not the biggest fan of the Mammoth Swine weakness. This team does lose pretty hard to Mammoth Swine. There's a Scizor, to be fair. Like that's pretty fine. Um, Speed tiers here. I would like a mon that's above base 115, but it's not the end of the world. The speed tiers here are pretty reasonable. This team is very physically oriented. Has a lot of physical mons just in general. There's the Sandy Shocks, there's the Gardevoir, there's Regalgy. The Decidueye can run special if it needs to, but quite very physically oriented team. A lot of just physical stuff. Samurott, Scizor, even Tauros, Lycanroc, Braviary. Braviary as a signature. I mean, we've seen Hisuian Braviary be absolutely bonkers with Terra. Not so sure about regular Braviary, but between Sheer Force and even Defiance in some matchups where there's Intimidate running around, I think it has some solid potential. It does seem like a pretty solid team. I'll put this in A tier. Um, Alright, next up we have the Meta Smasher, coached by Master Jofo. It's time. Let the fates decide. Heads, okay. I would ideally love for all of these to be tails because I think that would be funny content. But alas, I'm not that lucky. It's it would be 50% like 16 times in a row. That's not happening. Okay, so is the Electros spelled wrong on the dock? Oh my god. I Everyone clown on Tranel, please. Right, Annihilate. Salamence. Rotom Heat. Oh, Rotom Heat. Iron Thorns. Quagsire. My boy. Weezing. Cryogonal. Sableye. And Dusknoir. Okay, so an interesting bit about this team. I won a league in Gen 9, and I actually had Volcarona Annihilate Quagsire on that team. The only problem is that the Volcarona and the Annihilate Patera, and here they can't. The Electros can. And the Electros as a Terramon does seem actually quite interesting. It has a lot of coverage, so you can get stab on pretty much anything you want. Like you can run like I don't know, flamethrower, get stab on that, stab on Giga Drain, stab on like I don't know, Drain Punch or some bullshit. Or you can just give yourself adaptability stab on electric moves. You still have levitate, so you have no weaknesses. I'm not a fan of the triple electrics. Obviously, two of them are levitators, but like I don't know. It just feels a bit weird. Iron Thorns, I'm just not a fan of in general. Obviously, it has spikes and rocks, but I don't like Iron Thorns. It's bad. And even with Terra, it just isn't that great. Volcarona is a good mon, but without Terra, it's not absurd or anything. Annihilate's a really scary mon, regardless of Terra. Mens, just good mon in general. Rotom Heat is a fine mon. But like, again, Iron Thorn's just bad. Quagsire I really like. It has all the hazards now because they just gave Quagsire every single hazard. Who am I to complain? Weezing, I really like Weezing. It's a solid bone with neutralizing gas to shut off some dumb shit, levitate to beam you to ground. Cryogonal, decent low tier spinner. Not the worst, not the best. Sableye and Dusknoir, I'm not a fan of either of those mounts. Dusknoir, just no reliable recovery. It just eats hazard chip forever, especially in Paldea decks where removing hazards isn't trivial, like it would be in like past gens or in national decks. Sableye just sucks. It's so bad. It doesn't do anything. It doesn't have the stats to really do anything at this point. Like obviously, it has potential to do something in past gens, but even then, like it has 380 base stat total. It's so weak. It's frail. It doesn't do damage really. It has Prankster, but it doesn't actually really do much with that Prankster. Like when you compare it to like Grimmsnarl, like you have Prankster screens, you have Prankster parting shot, right, or other Prankster mons. Sableye just doesn't have this. It just dies. It's bad. It's a bad mon. This team is pretty decent, but again, does have some issues. It's kind of slow. The fastest mod is only base 105, and then you have two mons stuck at base 100. again, I would like at least outspeeding a base 110 ideally a month faster than 115, at minimum 110, which you don't have. The rest of the speed tiers aren't exactly awful. You do have a lot of weaknesses. You don't have normal types, so your ghost resist is non-existent, and you have three ghost types, so ghost types just destroy this team. Um, you don't have a fairy. Oh, that's really bad. I don't have a fairy or a steel. Those are like two of the top three types in the game. Your water type's the Quagsire, which can be annoying because of the 4 times weakness to grass, but that's manageable. You have two 4 times grass resists. But no steel type or fairy type is really bad. You know, maybe the three ghost types and the three electric types could be a fairy and a steel. Those are pretty big issues. Dark, again, you don't have a dark resist because your dark type's part ghost. Your fighting type's part ghost. So your dark resists are secondary types that are weak to dark. So like these types will just run you over. Like rock. I mean, you have Quagsire, you have Annihilate, right? But still, like Volcaroda's 4 times weak to rock. You have three other rock weaknesses. Yeah, there's definitely some issues with this team. Although you do have five ground weaknesses, funnily enough, because you have four levitate mons. But yeah, it's rough. There's definitely some issues with this team. But I think Annihilate is just so good that it can just win games by itself. And you have a decent enough supporting cast around it, but there's some glaring issues with this draft, so I'm gonna put it in C tier. Next up, we have Akatsuki, coached by Pain. Let let's spin the wheel. Oh, spin the wheel. Let's flip the coin. Heads. Okay, that's the third team in a row that I am actually taking seriously. Is it? No, because I flipped the coin for I flipped tails for Fire Master. Yeah. Okay. Oh no, it is the third in a row. Okay. So the team is Diancie, um, Ursaluda Blood Moon, which admittedly haven't seen much of in draft, or any of in draft, to be fair. Dragonite, Odom Wash, Jirachi, Sinistcha, Talonflame, Grafaiai, Honchkrow, Avalog, and Hariyama. So Diancie as a captain I really like because you can Terra remove the rock type and become pure fairy. You could also Terra water or steel or anything it. Ursaluna Blood Moon, really interesting mon. It's super strong. It's frail on the special side, but you can sort of fix that when you start clicking Calm Mind. Like you can run Calm Mind, Moonlight sets, you can run Specs. So really threatening mon. The ability is it's Scrappy plus something else. I don't remember. It might be Keen Eye, which would make sense considering it's called Mind's Eye. So like ghost types are not a switch into Blood Moon. Steel types, I mean, they most steel types are gonna run into Earth power, right? Obviously, there's Corviknight. I don't remember if Skarmory is in the game. I don't think Skarmory is in Scarlet and Violet. It might be with the DLC. But the steel type needs to levitate to deal with Ursaluna, because I mean even neutral hits are gonna take a lot from Earth power. Dragonite's a pretty scary mon. Obviously no Terra, but Dene with boots is still Dene with boots. Wormwash, solid Glumon, Jirachi. I really like it. It can be offensive if it wants. It can be utility with like rocks, wish support. You could also just Scarf Iron Head because it's Scarf Iron Head. You could probably win a game off of that alone. Sinistcha in singles. It doesn't have Shell Smash, right? That's a thing. No Shell Smash on Sinistcha. It's strong, but I'm not sure what it really does in singles. Because I know in VGC, it has the ability, it has the hospitality, which is a 25% heal for your teammate. It has Trick Room. It has Imprison Trick Room. If you want to use it. Although I guess if you run Imprison Trick Room, then you're gonna run Farigiraf for Armor Tail, right? Yeah. But I don't really know what it does in singles. I guess it does have the signature move. It's like Giga Drain plus Scald. It's 20% burn. It's a decent mod, but I'm not really sure what to make of it, what to expect from it. Um, Talonflame's a decent mod. I mean, it's a Talonflame. It's hard to use. It's hard to use for sure, but it's a decent mod if you can use it well. Rafia is a neat utility mod. Honchcrow's pretty bang average. Avalok without Terra is it's decent. I think it's also another high skill cap mon for sure. Like I've seen it used well, but without Terra, it usually ends up being pretty bad. And Hariyama, decent mon. I used it last season, and for a at the time D tier, it was pretty fine. What point is Hariyama? 5. It's pretty alright mon as far as 5 pointers go. You have some solid removal. Rotomosh does not get defog, but that's neither here nor there. You do have a spinner and Avala, you have a couple defoggers. You don't have a lot of U-turn, which is nice. Even Diancie has momentum with Baton Pass. You don't have a lot of knockoff, which I'm not the biggest fan of. You're not missing, Fairy and Steel, so at least there's that. The speed tiers, I like the speed tiers. Talonflame, the outspeeding base 120s, even base 125s. Rafai, solid speed tier, Jirachi, then it goes down. Definitely some solid speed tiers. It seems like a pretty well-rounded team. Like, I don't see anything, like, abhorrently wrong with it. Uh, but I think most of it will come from, like, whether or not how good are I mean obviously Virtually Blood Moon is pretty gonna be pretty good. I'm not sure about Sinistra. It could be like super good. It's a solid team. It's not like the craziest thing ever, but it's solid. I think it's pretty solidly like high end B tier. Alright, next up we have the is this supposed to be New Orleans? Whatever. The Nola Necrozmas. I don't care. We're flipping the coin. I don't care about team names. I care about coin. Unlucky. I want coins, man. I want to see some crazy shit happen, but it's not happening. All right. So let's make just as the signature, which I mean, if even the people developing the game can see the synergy with Terra, you know how it is. Melodic, Iron Hands. Thankfully, not VGC. Salazzle, Shaman, Ditto, Knucklestack, Backspun, and the Masculine. So first of all, Knucklestack, how many points is Knucklestack? 7? Yeah, it's only 7 points with Terra. Without Terra, that thing just sucks. Next one, decent budget fairy. I really like it as a budget fairy, actually. It's a good Fizz Death Wall, it has Wish. It can baton pass the Wish. A masculine, I mean, masculine exists, I guess. The team doesn't have a steel, it doesn't even have a dark type, but you do still have a ghost resist and knuckle stack, so you don't uh, really get. I mean, you kind of get rolled over by ghost types. I mean, the knuckle stack can save you, but that's not ideal. Like having to bring a non-Terra knuckle stack as your ghost resist. Um, well, psychic type can be a bit annoying, but manageable. I like the speed tiers here. This allows a lot of speed, space 115s, as mages, Aptos, Shaman, Basculin. Uh, no, yeah, the speed tiers are fine. As mages as a signature, I really like. You can make it Terra Electric with Levitate. You can make it Terra Steel with Levitate. You can just give it. You could just make it a mini Flutter main. Make it Terra Fairy, like Dazzling Gleam, because certified Flutter main moment. Great Tusk, just super good mod in general. Zapdos, really good. It did lose Defog, contrary to what the Purple Dog is saying. But it's still really good mod. Milotic, just fat, super annoying to kill. Iron Hands, just absolutely tanky ass fucker. Dishes the hits back harder than it takes them. Luckily not VGC, because otherwise this mod would be like top 3 in the game. Salazzle, pretty solid mod. I like it. Has some cool stuff going on for it. The corrosion's really cool, for sure. Shaman, decent mon, but overly reliant on Seed Flare or Seed Miss. Ditto is a Ditto. I mean, it can do stuff sometimes. It's only as good as your opponent's team, so if your opponent has an F tier team, then Ditto's an F tier mon. I don't know what else to tell you. If your opponent's team sucks, I mean, if your opponent's team sucks, then like you're doing pretty well, to be fair. Um, yeah, I like this team, but I feel like it's missing that like super like nutty like threat, right? It's missing that like just insane. It's missing like a Palafin or like a Baxcalibur, right? It's missing like that bite. It's a solid team, but it's missing some absolute like world beater, right? Because like your highest tier mon is like a Tusk, and like obviously Tusk can go for like turtle synthesis speed, bulk up, try to sweep, but that's not. If it was a Terramon, then Tusk would be the world beater, like super high end threat. I think you're missing that from this team to make it like truly something special. Like no steel type, no steel type kind of sucks. Um, that's also a big issue with this team. The Knuckle stack could easily be like a steel type or something. Um, but it's a solid team. Could be low end of A, high end of B maybe. Um, Teramis Magius does seem really good actually. Um, I think I'll put it high end B. All right, next up we have the Colt ellipses. Coached by Fist. Let's flip the coin. Tails! Yay! I get to spin the wheel. Let's go! All right, I am one happy lad. All right, is it F tier? No, it's C tier. Okay, so we have the Colt ellipses in C tier. All right, so the team: Yon Mega, Iron Valiant, Tornadus Therian, Spectrier. What the fuck? What is this shit? Quackball, Ting Lu, Tsarina, Copperaja, Crocolore. Crocolore at 1 point? Damn, that's impressive. Hatram and coughing. Beast coughing. Okay, so this fucking logo, what is this shit? My fucking god. Okay. This logo's incredible. Okay. So, alright. Let's start off with the basics. Iron Valiant without Terra. Not the craziest thing in the world. Yanmega? Well, Yanmega with Terra. I mean, it's no. It will no longer die if it touches a rock, which I guess is something. I don't know. Yanmega just seems really mid though. Iron Valiant. I mean, Iron Valiant's pretty good. Tornado Styrian's pretty bad. I mean, it's good 80% of the time, but we've all used. Listen, we've all used Bundle before. You know how the story ends, all right? Spectrier. What's the T Spiker? Coughing? This mod is just worse than Gank. I mean, okay, I know it has Draining Kiss now, but like, I still feel like it needs T Spikes to be broken, and like your T Spiker's fucking coughing, right? Quackleval, Quackleval at 15. I mean, it's a good mom, but at 15, not entirely keen on it. Ting Lu, I mean, that mon is for Ting losers. You know how it is. Tarina's a pretty solid mon, to be fair. Copper Raja at 6. That's decent. But the top end is not that good because Tornado Styrian's bad 20% of the time. And listen, that's only 10% less than Focus Miss. That's not that good. The odds are not that good. Alright. So yeah, this team just all around pretty mid. Pretty based coughing pick though. I have to give it the coughing pick, alright? Listen. Fucking coffee. Oh, what a good one. 252 plus special attack choice spec scintillant, Terra Bug, Mega Bug Buzz versus AV Pex. Okay, but Bread, you have to consider the following. Toxapex sucks. Alright, next. We have the Spine Chilling Gengar, coached by Gengar Heracross. Let's flip the coin. Heads. Okay. So, since I get to legitimately rank this team, this team goes on S tier. Does it? Yeah, probably does. Let's be real. This team looks insane. So we have the Dunsparce as the Terramon, which I really like. And then we have Garchomp, Voldango, Galarian Zapdos, Ogerpon, Hearthflame, um, Galarian Weezing, Slowbro, Overqwil, Raichu, Quaxwell, and Quilladin. So, Terra the Dunsparce, pretty decent, pretty interesting mon. And obviously, it has Serene Grace, it has Body Slam, it has Air Slash, it has Glare. There's things you can do with this for sure. Garchomp, pretty threatening mon. I do believe it got Skill Shot back in with the DLC, so it can go for Skill Shot SD if it wants. No, I missed this earlier. Spooks asked, "Do you know if my team was normally ranked or not?" I believe your team was normally ranked. Uh, was it? Yeah, it was. It was actually ranked. I'm pretty sure. Um, right. Goldango. I mean, it's a Goldango, right? It can go T-Wave. It can go Nasty Blood. It can go Scarf, Specs, Trick. The ability is pretty silly. It's just immune to every status move in the game. It blocks Defog for no fucking reason. Galarian Zapdos, pretty solid mon. Ogerpon is Ogerpon. I like Ogerpon. I think it's adorable, and she must be protected from the evil dudes. All right, the three bozos. Unfortunately, Ogerpon Heartflame, no Terra, so you don't. No, Ogerpon does not have Intrepid Sword, thankfully. Uh, Galarian Weezing, pretty solid mon actually. It has some cool things it can do. Funnily enough, it's actually probably one of the better great touch glitches in the game, because it's quad resist to CC. Levitate makes it immune to like Headlong Rush slash EQ, and I mean it's just all around a solid mon. It could set up Misty Terrain if you want. which considering you probably don't want to set up Misty Terrain when the Dunsparce can just go Body Slam. But like Garchomp and Gyarados really appreciate the Will-O-Wisp immunities, right? Even Overcoil to some extent. Neutralizing gas, obviously, it's neutralizing gas. You can turn off some abilities. Slowbro, obviously, it lost teleport in Gen 9, but it's still a Slowbro, right? It still has Regenerator. It's still bulky. It can still do things. Overquill, Solid Mon, has Intimidate, right? You can. It has good. It has really good physical bulk because of Intimidate. Right, it has spikes and T spikes, so you can hazard stack a lot with this team because Chomp gets rocks and spikes, the Dunsparce gets rocks, Overcoil gets dual spikes, Galarian Weezing has T spikes, Quilladin has spikes, so you have a lot of hazards going on there, which I really like. Not as much momentum as I'd like. There's definitely been teams with more momentum, right? Ogerpon not being able to hold an item, not ideal, right? Especially with the rocks weakness. I mean, it would probably love to run boots. Like maybe choice band or like boots, like U-turn pivot. It does have knockoff though, which is really nice. Although it doesn't actually show on the fucking dock, it should have knockoff. Gapdos has knockoff now because of the DLC, which is kind of silly actually. um, this team is S tier. Like that's just how it is. This team is S tier. All right, next up we have the Riverside Otters, coached by Rubis. Let's flip coin. Insane! I get to spin the wheel. Let's go. I am happy Brazilian Quagsire. Are we gonna get C tier again? All right, we're gonna get C tier again. Um, I think this is the third C tier I've rolled. Cause no, this team was a legit C tier. Yeah, no. All right. So the team: Donphan, Baxcalibur, Meowscarada, Gengar, Slowking, Slitherwing, Moltres, Wordeer, Ursaring, Alolan Sandslash, and Ampharos. So this is the the fucking snow team with Baxcalibur and Meowscarada. Um, so the top end is pretty good. The bottom end falls off considerably. Like Donphan, I mean it has. I mean, okay, yeah, it's Terra, but like if you were gonna Terra anything on this team, you would Terra the Alolan Sandslash, right? Because that thing has like 2 4 times weaknesses, and like it can actually be something of a threat with Terra, but it's just gonna be bad. Like that's Ampharos. I mean, it has slow Volt Switch. It's kind of bulky, but like, uh, Ursaring would have been a good Terramon, but you picked fucking Donphan. Wordeer. I mean, who do you think you are? Starvin Pig? You're not gonna. This mod's not gonna do anything. Moltres, decent mon. Solar Wing, decent mon. Slowking is a Slowking. Gengar. Gengar's pretty solid, but I also got out and Excalibur really good, but I feel like the rest of the team, I mean Slowking as well, but I feel like the rest of the team is really let down. Really don't like the Donphan signature. Slitherwing is fine. Yeah, I think the Sandslash would be. I feel like just. I mean, Donphan has rocks, has spin. You have decent hazard removal, I guess. Um, I really don't understand why there's a Wordier and an Ursaring. Like, just doubling up on normals for no reason. I really would like an electric type that isn't Jolteon. Yeah, this team is just mid. So mid. Aggressively mid, if you will. Alright, next up, we have the Golden State Aerodactyls, coached by Cali Dude. Coin. Heads. Okay. Let's legitimately rank this team. So Diplin. What does Diplin do? Like actually, I have not looked at that mod in any capacity. Come on, Corviknight, Volcanion. Okie dokie. I also don't know what that mod does. Screamtail. I probably should have checked. Grimmsnarl. Arcanine, Clodsire. Trevenant. Based Chimecho pick. Very based. Trevenant sucks though. Um, so Diplin, super sweet syrup. It's once per battle reduces evasiveness, right? That's just bad. What the fuck? Eviolite on the can't get its Eviolite knocked off. Oh yeah, cause it's Evo. It's coming in DLC too, but it can hold Eviolite now, because apparently it's coded in that it can evolve. This game is fair and balanced and with no exploits whatsoever, I tell you. Um, Kamalo, pretty solid mon. Did it get something this gen? I don't think it did, right? Corviknight will always be Corviknight. That mon is fat. It does things. Volcanion's a pretty solid mon. I really like Volcanion. Okidogi. What the hell is Guard Dog? I forgot what that ability is. But I mean, it's just better Toxicroak, I guess. Screamtail. Screamtail's an interesting mon. When I used it, I could not use it to save my life, but it is a solid mon. It has a lot of utility. It has T-Wave, Rocks, Encore, Wish, Screens. Like it can baton pass for momentum, can fast baton pass a Wish. I mean, I guess at that point you can just hard switch, but like, brain dead. No, don't need to predict. You know how it is. Grimmsnarl. I'm not the biggest fan of Grimmsnarl on this team, cause like obviously screens are really good, right? And it also has party shot. But I don't think this team has the offensive threats that like enough offensive threats to make use of screens. Similar to I think Firemaster's team with the Livani that did not have enough offensive mods for the what do you call it? The to make use of webs, right? I think this is even worse. Like obviously Volcanion, like Specs Volcanion under screens does seem pretty menacing. Kamoa with Clangorous Soul or Dragon Dance under screens, it's pretty menacing. But I feel like that's just too much of a one trick pony at that point. Like a good player will be able to like handle that. Arcanine Clodsire, pretty solid mons to round out the team. I do like the defensive core this team has with the Corviknight, Screamtail, the Arcanine, the Clodsire. Even against the EVO like Diplin, because it should have Synthesis. It can tear out of the 4 times Ice Weakness. It's a it's a solid team for sure. I guess Okidogi probably has bulk up, so you could try to set up with that, but uh, it's a solid team. But I feel like it could use another like scary offensive threat. The Chimecho pick is based. It does have Wish. It does have Heal Bell. It even has Knockoff. Does it have Knockoff? Does it have it in Gen 9? I don't know. But in terms of hazards, I mean Clodsire is a Clodsire, right? Even Komodo has rocks. Um it's a solid team, but I feel like it's missing a little extra oomph to go like all the way. I would like a faster one than Screamtail, obviously. This team is really slow, actually. That's a slow ass fucking team. Wow, yeah. Um, it's also pretty physical oriented team as well. Obviously, there's the Volcanion, and I guess Komodo might have to run like more special sets more often. Like especially if you run into like some very physically bulky teams that like you're gonna struggle to break through. Although to be fair, Throat Spray, Clangorous Soul, not actually that bad of a set, so maybe you'll be fine. But it does seem like a pretty, average, solid B tier team. Right. Next up, we have the Florida Gators, coached by Emser. I don't think I pronounced that correctly, but I tried. Tails, alright. It's wheel time. Alright, another F tier on the wheel. So, this team, Frostmoth, oh, Frostmoth, Monkey Dory. I don't know what that mod does. It's not real, therefore that's why you're F tier. Cinderace, Crocodile, Empoleon, Enamorysterian, Lycanroc Dusk, Cyclozar, Hisuian Electrode, Spiritomb, and Spidops. You drafted Spidops. Next. Yeah, no, you drafted Spidops. That's why you're F tier. Next. Alright, we have the Toronto Maple Leafs, coached by a Dema Lower? Is that an A or an O? I think it's an A. Who cares? So let's flip coin. Heads. Okay. So Rotomo as a Terramon is actually sick. I really like that. Rotomo, Iron Bundle, Ursaluna, Iron Moth, Mienshao. Oh, right. Mienshao, Noivern, Tinkaton, Houndstone, Farigiraf, Lycanroc, Midnight, and Berserker. So, firstly, well, I think Rotomo, as I mentioned before, really good Terramon. You can Terra Ice, and it has Electric, Grass, and Ice Stab, which is just insane. And then you could Scarf it, you could Specs it, you could do whatever. You can Nasty Plot. Iron Bundle's a good mon, obviously. I mean, it does one thing 80% of the time, but when it does that thing 80% of that time, so good. Ursaluna's a fucking menace. You can try to Trailblaze. It just Guts Facade is like fucking impossible to switch into. Every ghost type just risks getting EQ'd or Headlong Rush, whatever you prefer running. Iron Moth is a good mon. It can do a lot of different things. You can run like a Boots pivot with U-turn. You can run T-spikes. You can run Morning Sun 3 attacks. You could Scarf it. You could boost their energy it. A lot of different things you can do with that mon. Mienshao, really liked Mienshao. Just fast U-turn regenerator. Don't really have to worry about Rocky Helmet with a mon like this when it has regenerator, right? And that's usually a pretty big issue of like these types of like physical attackers, because you just run Rocky Helmet and they start dying. But Nam Yan Shao, it's actually somewhat resilient with the regenerator. Wyvern, decent utility mon. Tinkaton, good, solid, decent utility mon. I would like a second fairy, not a second steel, to go along with Tinkaton, because Tinkaton can just click Gigaton Hammer, has 150 base power. It's gonna do damage even with its weak attack stat. But a second fairy to go with Tinkerton, I think, is really important. Houndstone. I mean, Houndstone has Ghost Stab. It has Poltergeist. It can do something. I can't believe it. Someone should have drafted this on a T-Tar team, honestly. Maybe it'd have done something. Now it doesn't have to run Terra Blast as his fucking Ghost Stab. But it's still a solid Pokemon. It has Will-O-Wisp, it has Fluffy, so it's really hard to kill on the physical side. Um, and to pair with Tinkaton's like special defense stat, pretty decent. Farigiraf is a decent low tier utility mon. It has Wish, and it's immune to priority moves, which is interesting. Obviously, this is a VGC where there's like 17 million fake outs. There's like Sucker Punch from King Gambit. There's like Aqua Jet from Urshifu Rapid, but it's still interesting, just for sure. I'm not a fan of like Rock Midnight or Berserker though. I feel like those could be, different mons to fulfill different roles or something. I really like the speed tiers here. I think these are some of the better speed tiers we've looked at like so far. You have the bundle, which outspeeds base 130s, which is huge. You have the Noivern, which outspeeds base 120s. You have the Iron Moth at 110. You have the Mienshao at 105. Um, I really like the speed tiers for sure. Um, the ground weakness is a bit concerning. You do have two immunities in Rotomo and Noivern, but Iron Moth is 4x. Neither bundle nor Ursaluda resist ground. Right, Houndstone. I mean, if it's a physical ground move, it can probably eat them. But like an Earth power from like Ursaluna Blood Moon just completely ruins it. Actually, yeah, Ursaluna Blood Moon. Ursaluna Blood Moon's a different beast. All right, let's be real here. But the ground weakness is it's very concerning. The fighting weakness is pretty bad, but you do have Houndstone, which is really good, and the Noivern, which is decent. The fighting weakness is annoying. I mean, because Houndstone's weak to fire. But I guess Rotom can Terra out of the fire weakness at the very least. Although if it's Terra Ice, then it's still fire weak. I don't like that you're missing a dark type, but you do make up with it by doubling up on normals, which means ghost types won't curb stomp you entirely. Uh, but yeah, I would like a second fairy for Tinkaton, and the ground weakness and probably the fighting weakness as well could use some sorting out. Your two biggest threats are weak to fighting, and neither resist ground. Which your Iron Moth, which resists fighting, is 4 times weak to. So gonna be a bit tough to play around, but I think it's a solid team. Um, Probably high end of B tier. I'm gonna put it high end of B tier. And next up, we have the Oshawa Nidokings. We sure this is not supposed to be? I mean, because Oshawott. Okay. I thought it was like, isn't it supposed to be Ottawa? But I guess that makes sense. Okay. Coin. Hey! It's wheel time. I'm one happy lad. Oh, but it's gonna be C tier again. No, I'm gonna overrule this. This is the third C tier I've spun on this wheel. I'm rolling it again. Alright. S tier on the wheel. So the team. Chestnut as the Terramon. Chiyu, Pelipper, Gastrodon. What the fuck is Chiyu Rain? Gastrodon, Guja, Meloetta, Lucario, Alolan Wo-Chien, Regieleki, and Hisuian Avalugg. Okay, so Chestnut as a Terramon is kind of bonkers actually. So it can remove its 4 times flying weakness. You can defensively Terra to set up a sub belly drum sweep with Salackberry. Chiyu, it's Chiyu. That's a lot. It's it 252 plus choice specs Terrafire. It doesn't have Terrafire, but that's fine. Chiyu overheated Sun versus literally anything. 253 billion% minimum. Um, so I actually really like Chiyu Rain. I think that's some absolutely world class new meta strats right here. Um, the Gastrodon, Gastrodon has hazards now, which actually makes it a water ground type, because before it wasn't a real Pokemon because Quagsire was just better anyway. It didn't have any contributing qualities. I mean, obviously Quagsire has rocks and spikes now, but at least Gastrodon has rocks and spikes as well. And Swampert only has rocks, so I guess it's a Pokemon now. Gudra is Nick's wife. Um, it has hydration, right? I mean, you can run rest hydration with like acid armor and like body press. Does it get body press or is it just Hisui and Gudra? Who cares? Meloetta, the solid mon. Lucario, pretty surprisingly scary to prep for because it can be physical, it can be special. It can be like choice band, specs, scarf, mixed, like I don't know, sword stance, nasty blood. Has a lot of things it can do. Alolan Muck. I mean, obviously the losing pursuit from past gens is rough, but it's kept knockoff, and it's pretty annoying to deal with, and it's really bulky, especially with an AV set. Live slug reaction. That I didn't need to talk about the rest of the team because that Melon makes it S tier. And the Regieleki almost makes it like C tier because it's bad. And Hisui and Amalek. But it's fine, it has slug. Alright, and last, but certainly not least, we have the Machesney Park Slowpokes, which I think it's spelled wrong on this. Let me fix that. This is not gonna break the dock, I promise. I hope it doesn't break the dock. Yes, it does. It gets knockoff toxic and scald now. Yeah, Guja does actually get moves. But slug. Alright. Let's flip the coin. Tails? Okay. Spin the wheel. Okay. A tier. So, Charizard, Roaring Moon, Hisuian Lilligant, Ogerpon Wellspring, Hisuian Zoroark, Toxtricity, Torkoal, Rabombi, Piloswine, Dreadnought, and Shiftry. So, it's a Sun team. There is the Shiftry with the Wind Rider, which can be cool, but it's a Sun team. I guess that's where the Torkoal from the Walking Wake team went. Um, so basically, Roaring Mid became Roaring Good because now it has knockoff, and this team has an Ogerpon. It has an Ogerpon. It's going in A tier. That's just how it be. Actually, what tier did I put the other Ogerpon teams in? This one went in. Yeah, no, this team is absurd. Like actually, like what is this shit? Um, where are the other Ogerpons? I guess they're far up, huh? This one. Oh, I put this one in F tier, huh? I'm. The wheel has spoken. All right. I wouldn't usually put the ogre. I would put the ogre pawn in S, but you know how the wheel be. Wait, did one of the ogre pawns go undrafted? Hold on. I can't believe you guys wouldn't draft ogre pawn cornerstone. You fuck. I'm putting all of you in F tier now. Well, this was absolutely one of the power rankings of all time. So this is how it looks so far. Tune in next time for the showdown divisions. Hopefully we'll see a lot more wheel action because we're gonna have 3 times the teams we did in this one. Well, we did enough trolling here, that's for sure. I will see you all next time.